Going to talk about Northern Ireland, and I was contacted tonight by a gentleman called Mike, who's part of Rolling Thunder, and he's asked me to make a video. What I'm doing, I'm going to drop his video in here. It's very, very self-explanatory, but what it's about is about the vexatious and vicious persecution and prosecution of Northern Ireland veterans. I've said this many times before. The circumstances in Northern Ireland in the 1970s, 80s, and 90s were very different to what they are now. And soldiers were routinely killed on duty and off duty. Soldiers that lived in Northern Ireland had to be very aware of their personal security. And if it wasn't for the British Army being in Northern Ireland, the troubles would have been a lot worse than they were. There's no doubt that soldiers in Northern Ireland saved thousands of lives on both sides of the community. They never get any credit for that. They never get any respect. We don't want it. But what we don't want is our veterans being prosecuted. I was in circumstances on a number of occasions where literally a millimetre away from taking someone's life in Northern Ireland with a firearm. And thankfully I didn't. But 4 occasions I remember that was very, very close to pulling the trigger. And I would have been justified under the yellow card. Other men took that option and they opened fire and they killed people during the Troubles. And in my opinion, none of them were murderers. None of them went out there with a cold-blooded attitude to kill people. They made a split-second decision. And now, 30, 40 years later, the British state is not protecting them, but is actually putting through vexatious prosecutions. I'm going to play this video by Rolling Thunder. I think it's excellent. The veterans are rising again. There's going to be demonstrations again. There's going to be marches again. Let's get behind them. Get behind your veterans. Support them. Many of these are people who are elderly that are going to be dragged through the courts. So let's just make sure that this stops and that this government backs down on yet another crazy piece of legislation. Let's join together. The United Kingdom, the veterans, the farmers. Let's start having some real mass demonstrations together. So I'll play the video and obviously let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know what you think about the Troubles. I was there, so I know what happened, but let me know your thoughts. Just play this video now.
It's just disgusting, this day of age, that we're hounding our men, dragged out their bedrooms in the middle of the night to go and face some court.
Stop this persecution of soldiers who voluntarily joined the armed services to represent this country and fight for our democracy. The people in that building behind us are willing to seek a sanctuary and harvest votes from the people out here, and enough is enough now. You don't look after us, why should we look after you?
We need justice for the troops, especially Operation Banner troops.
Enough of the betrayal of all our troops. If you send us, look after us. Don't want to look after us, don't send us.
We come all the way from Blackpool because we believe enough is enough.
Protect your man of veterans. Enough is enough. We've been there, done it. You sent us here. They look after us.
Take a serious look at what you're doing. For people that serve your country, the government sent us there to do these jobs, and then you're doing this to us. It's outrageous.
Stop the persecution of people who were doing the job that they were sent there to do by the politicians of the day.
They've had enough time. They've made their promises. Do something about it. Enough! Enough!
Should never have got to this stage under any circumstances. We manage politicians of all parties who dropped us in the deep and smelly.
Well, there you have it, guys. Enough really is enough. And Dennis Hutchins was in there. And I don't know how many of you realise, but Dennis Hutchins was a veteran. He was been dragged through the courts in Northern Ireland for many, many years. He's a very, very ill man. He was suffering from cancer. And very tragically, he died of COVID at the height of the COVID pandemic in Belfast, in hospital, on his own, away from his loved ones. That's what's at stake here. Men that should be living out their days doing what they enjoy doing, getting dragged through the courts. It's disgusting. That's what we got from the blob. See, what we're coming to realise is that the government of whatever colour is being controlled by an out-of-control civil service that is left-leaning, probably communist, hates this country and hates the people of this country. And of course, that fits Starmer's ideology hand in glove. You see the whole lot of them, the judiciary, the civil service, senior police officers, probably even senior military officers. We need to drain the swamp. And we all need to come together, the veterans, the patriots, football lads, the farmers, the bikers, and we need to just get this sorted out. It's been going on for too long and things really need to change. See you all soon. Again, let's just get